What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Unreal Engine 5 game development live stream. Alright, hold on. Let me shit. Oh. Hold on. I'm guessing it's coming from this microphone. Hold on. Why is this actual microphone not working? Buongiorno. I know my microphone quality is not the best at the moment. For some reason, it's not recognizing my actual microphone. Give me a second. It's all right. Yeah, I just want to see why my other headset is not being recognized. It's weird. I'd like to get this one to work if possible. Microphone. Sorry to start the stream off like this. See if I can get the actual mic to work. Of course, it's not going to find anything for the microphone. Like how my computer is crap at the moment. Can't search too well. I'm guessing the default is... It's this one. Cool. I don't know why this microphone's not working. That's disappointing. But this microphone is okay. Is it like super annoying or like bad quality? I gotta like listen to myself. That's disappointing. But this microphone is okay. I'm not a fan of what this microphone sounds like. I'm gonna keep trying for a minute or two, sorry. I've plugged everything in and out. Let's see if it'll be recognized. I don't know what task manager. Let's try to figure this out. What can I do here? Video settings, video broadcast. There's microphone privacy settings, but it's home and system. Let's see, system. Choose where to play sound, okay. And for some reason, it's not being picked up. Also, I don't know if this really fucks anything up. I turned that up higher. I don't want to pair anything new. Maybe I would have to restart my PC. Bluetooth and devices. That's disappointing. Why is this happening? I've been wanting to stream for so long, and now I'm dealing with like a random problem. I know I shouldn't stress about it and not freak out about it, but that's just how I am sometimes. So, okay. I guess we can just deal with it. I don't know if this is gonna be better or worse. Okay. Let's just, I guess, yeah, let's just deal with the microphone that I have right now, and I'll have to like restart my PC a little bit later. So yeah, welcome back to another Unreal Engine 5 game development live stream. Sorry for the technical difficulties in the first like 5 minutes. Today we're going to try to refactor our input buffering into its own kind of component, because last time we've been working on a state tree kind of thing to help handle our melee combo, and we got it working. I don't know how well you can see the debug on screen, but we're able to switch now to the text between melee combo 1 and combo 0. So I should be able to kind of make progress with the like actual combo of like different melee attacks and stuff like that. But for now, we're gonna just kind of break things down a little bit better for ourselves, and kind of just repiece some things together, because right now our input buffering is really just a set of functions within our player character, and I kind of want to make I want to make it a component on the player controller. So let's go ahead and try to do that. So we definitely need to make a new C++ class. I guess it could be a component. I don't know if it has to be actor component. We could say GASC underscore input buffer component. Let's find a place for this here. So game systems or character components, and then we'll do input buffer. So we'll go ahead and create that class. Ah, dzień dobry. Dzień dobry. How's it going? Yeah, today, we're gonna work on a couple of different things. I hope depends on how quickly we can refactor stuff. Because ideally, we'll make the input buffer component. We'll add it to our player controller, and we'll make sure that our custom anim notify state, I believe, there should be a buffer somewhere, right? Yeah, record input buffer. Maybe we should make this also in C++. I'm not sure yet. But right now, all it really does is just opens and closes, and then yeah, on tick, we also have some functionality here. Because it serves as a block and a buffer, so we have blocking tags. And so yeah, different attacks will need to have kind of different blocking tags, and I guess that's also something I need to make sure that we have. So there should be an ability, what's it called? Encountered unexpected module type. Interesting. Trying to remember the type of data asset this is. It's not an AS underscore because that's ability set, but it should be in the same directory. No. Ability tag relationship mapping. Thank you. So yeah, we have this relationship mapping, so we can expand all, right? So we should probably add a blocking tag for like each of these as well. Unless I already did, and because I think I added this to, for example, the dodges. I think have these. Yeah. Let me try to remember how I set this up. It's been a while. It's been a hot minute since I looked at this input buffering. Yeah, status.block ability. Yeah, and there's this activation blocked tags. Yeah, so all of these have this kind of status.blocked ability. Others don't. And I wonder if I need to, so I'll see, there's hit reactions. I should probably add it to other places. So yeah, that's like reactions. Probably would need to be added there as well, but there's death, and then there's all these movement ones, magic, fireball. This is the magic stance one. Blah, blah, blah. Like that, and this seems to be an empty entry, so let's just delete that. Yeah, so basically our input buffer is going to be blocking things, so adding tags, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it's a container. Yes, container. So that kind of makes sense. And then yeah, we basically on tick, we kind of say when we want to open up the buffer. So we're saying, okay, pretty much here, the whole time block that ability. And then at the end, at a certain point, at 0.17, which I guess that doesn't make too much sense, but I would say I would have to probably change that to like a percentage or something. we say to then start opening the buffer and recording some stuff. So let's find where our input buffer component is. Great. I don't think it needs to ever really tick. So we could just say false. Begin play tick component. We don't need that either. I'm not sure if we need to even begin play, if I'm going to be honest. Let's just remove that. So I know we don't need core minimal either. So yeah, let's go in. Let's see what things we need for our input buffer based on the previous implementation. I know we need an array. So we do have delegates as well for when we're flushing things. We have queries, yeah, the buffered input tags. So TArray F gameplay tag, input buffer tags. So I'm curious if it needs to be a TArray of F gameplay tags, or if it could be just like a tag container of some sort. Trying to think what would be the best, because it makes sense that it would need to be just like a simple like array. Because yeah, I think an array works just because it has like a top of the stack and the most recently recorded. Or I guess we can just say we could have just one gameplay tag. And then each time a new one's recorded, we kind of take it out. But maybe it's let's just do it the way we did before. So let's just grab everything here. So we got that. And then we can get buffer tag, and is buffer tag open, and we get all of these. Flush, close, open. So something along those lines. Then we have to get our delegates from the top. Like that. Do we have to include gameplay tags or something? Okay, good. Yeah, gameplay tag container, no. So I think that's everything. So let us now generate our code. And yeah, let's just go one by one. So there should be open input buffer implementation. Like that. Close implementation. Probably the broadcast should happen last. Then flushing input buffer. Then there's this whole activate buffered input ability, which I'm not too sure we need. I'm not sure what the best way, if I'm gonna be honest, I don't know what the best way would be. So let's say for the sake of this, because yeah, it just says ability input tag pressed. Maybe that's okay. I'm also not sure where we're actually recording it. Yeah, so we're opening. Let's see. Yeah, so basically we have input ability, input tag press. So if not, put buffer open. Else, yeah, so we're basically recording it here and passing in the tag, which maybe is not a bad idea. as things should be linked to abilities, but maybe not. Because yeah, I'm also not sure where would be the best place for it. Like, yeah, because every time an ability action is pressed here, we get back down here, and this is where we're trying to potentially activate stuff. So I wonder if it should be a component of the character and not the controller. I don't know if that'll make things easier or not. Just because it's controller and input stuff, maybe that makes sense for it to be on the controller. Yeah, we need to somehow get the ASC as well. Let's include it. So we need to change this as well. Maybe I should also keep a... No, I think it should be okay if I were to say like, so like if a gas course character, don't really want to call it champion. Owning character, yes. So something along the lines of that. We don't really care about authority anymore. We would just need to copy then this part into that if. So something like that should be okay. So we should be okay there. And then, yeah, I think in just the player character, we could put in this input buffer. So we should be able to remove some of this stuff. Or, well, all of this stuff, honestly. So let's remove some of that. Let's do, we're putting all our components. So we're going to say u GSC input buffer component, input buffer component, category, we'll say input, or maybe like this, and then input. So all good there. Then we got to go to our constructor. So input buffer component equals create default sub object yes, text input, yes, input buffer component should be okay. I know I should probably include that. It's already included. Great. We're on a roll. Now I should be able to go back down to the input buffer section. We're just going to nuke everything that's here. Just do something like that. So boom. And then we're also have to do stuff here. So let's nuke all that. where else? So now, yeah, we gotta check this here as well. So can I just say, so if and then yeah, otherwise. Hopefully that's good. We're gonna have to recompile everything. But that should be good to have it within its own kind of component now. So let's compile. Let's see what happens. Hey, we got a subscriber, Promo Sahu. Thank you so much. Thanks for popping in, watching our little stream here. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, pretty much what I'm hoping for. I also had to do like a general project cleanup because our old version of the input buffer task we need to delete and clean up. Because hopefully now I should be able to get my input buffer component, also get that cleaned up, and then basically say, hey, like if we're sending the event, we gotta check first if the buffer is open, because we may not want to send the event yet, and then kind of go through. Because we also might need to say, like, hey, is this input action even... Like, I guess since we're dealing with just melee stuff, it should be okay to check if it's being buffered. Okay, so everything compiled nicely, so that's good. Now we gotta just make sure... So we're gonna have to fix our anim notify state as well. Because it's referencing things that don't exist anymore since we nuked that inside of our player character. And so yeah, I'm wondering if I need to just make it into C++ as well. And then we're gonna need to replace some stuff in a lot of our animations. So we got a good amount of work ahead of us. Yeah, by the way, our number of followers have been growing pretty well in the last couple weeks. We were sitting at we were staying within like the 500s for a long time, so now we're chilling at 628. So yeah, thanks to all the new followers on Twitch. It's great. It's much appreciated. So hopefully you guys like the content. Ah, my knuckles. But yeah, I'm trying to think what else I would need for my input buffer, honestly. Because one of the interesting things that when I've created an input buffer for other stuff, for other projects, is the potential need to also record like the movement input vector at that time of the input. So you could be like, hey, you know, I buffered dodge, but at that moment when I wanted to dodge, I was moving the stick to the right. So maybe you would want to like execute to the right and pass that data along. Maybe. But maybe we could be overthinking it like we usually do, right? So yeah, we have our buffer here. Oops. Maximize. Let's just move all our stuff into our dock. So yeah, now we have these problems, right? And I would what I would like is to make this into I think C++ as well. So we'll do new C++ class, and I'm notify state. So we'll say notify state. We'll put it in the same directory as the component. This could be like a good use for a plugin or something, but it is what it is. I hope the stream quality is doing okay. I know the last time I streamed, my PC was kind of slowly dying. And so it was kind of choppy or laggy or something like that. So hopefully things are still okay. I'm going to try to stream for like 3 hours today. That's going to be hopefully a good day. Get a lot of stuff done. And yeah, it's been a while since I've been following my intention for the project. Like I have like my to-do lists that I'm just like ignoring. Okay, so here's our notify state, right? So we need to grab some overrides. So I believe it's these. So notify state, do that. Do that, generate code, do. Okay. Now, yeah, we can generate that stuff here. So we need, so we'll say public. Yeah, that's not a good generated documentation. I think I need to add more data here. Stream is good. Okay, great. Thank you. So yeah, we need so f gameplay tag container blocking tags. We need to include that. Take out core minimal, of course. View property, sure. It's just gonna be blueprint read write. I guess it'll be blueprint read only. Category input buffer, sure. And then another U property. What did I name this property? Open input buffer time. So I think it should be like a percentage. Because basically, like the goal is to, when you have the input buffer open, like maybe we don't want it to record immediately. And we would just say, okay, at this point, record or something like that, right? So I'm wondering if it should be kind of treated percentage wise. Because right now I think it just times, like the actual length time. So 0.17 is right about here. Is when we start the input buffer recording. So gonna have to see. So we want to say float. And we're gonna say open input buffer time percentage. We'll say equals 0.0f. That should be everything that I need. So yeah, on begin play, we're gonna need to say so if a gas course character owning character equals mesh comp, or no, first cast a gas course character mesh comp get owner, and then we could say maybe we can we would have to say if blocking tags dot is that so is if is empty return, else we would say owning character dot add loose, or what's the thing called? So we need to do this. Add loose gameplay tag, and we're going to say owning character, and then blocking tags. So redundant thing here, so we'll just do that. You know, potentially we would need to, like, I would ideally like to also set up some debugging things and stuff like that. Like, I suck at, I don't even know how to even use IMGUI. I'm so dumb. So I'm gonna have to just use like logging or something like that, or set up vlogging, something to that effect. But I think, is there a potentially like a constructed thing here? So it should fire editor notify color on. So if with editor we could do this. So virtual void draw canvas in editor. I wonder if I can do anything special there. So it can be placed, draw in editor. I wonder if like the AI can like draw me something here. So get editor color, linear color, post load, pre-save. So validate, pre-save, get containing asset. Okay. Take baby steps, you know. So notify state, so we do that, add loose gameplay tags, and then we gotta do the same here, except remove loose gameplay tags. And then yeah, on notify tick, this is where we would need to kind of check the percentage. So let me see if the AI can help me here. So how to draw a line position on an animation notify state in editor. Because what I would like to do is be able to like draw a line position on the notify saying when the input buffer is going to open. To draw a line position on it. I don't want to draw a line. That's not what I mean. So how to draw on a notify state within the anim montage window. Let's see. Yeah, so let me help you with drawing custom visualization for an anim notify state within a montage window. To implement this, you'll need to override the draw notify visualization function. I mean, is that really a thing I can override? No. Thanks. There is draw canvas in editor. But I don't know what that really does. There is this draw in editor. So maybe. Oh. So override function, blah, 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 blah. Alright, so do I have to say, like, override, I guess? No. Where do I put, oh. Where do I put the override? So, maybe that's okay. Let me first just generate the code here. Okay, I can't. And I can say super, obviously. Draw an editor. I mean, do I also have to say override? Why is that wrong? See, that's what's concerning. How do I override that thing? So, how to override draw in error in... For some reason, it just doesn't feel right that, like, I can't do it. Here's how to override the draw and editor thing. It's not what I'm looking for. And I Google it. UE5, C++, anim, notify, draw an editor. There's a Wukong project. Interesting. Is this actually someone doing Blacklinked Wukong? Header file. No. Oh, that's weird. It's a virtual void. That means I should be able to overwrite it. Hey, Xenostrikes. How you doing? How you doing? Thanks for popping in. Do I do it here? Okay. I do it over there. Maybe. Let's get rid of the state tree tasks and stuff. We have a lot of things open at the moment. So what's wrong here? So class has no member draw of type. Do I have to say? Okay, let me nuke that real quick and I do wonder if this is okay. What does this say? It says it's not implemented for some reason, but whatever. I wonder, can I say, for example, so if PDI, so F vector, like how can I draw? I don't want to do that position. I want to get the position on the timeline. Yeah, I'm doing good. You know, we have a long weekend here, so we're chilling, working on our project instead. You know, that's okay. So how to draw something on the anim notify track. I'm trying to find the exact information I need. Like, I don't, it's giving me all this weird shit. There's no draw track function. How to draw line? Mm-hmm. Maybe I'm just trying too hard to get this to work, but yeah, draw in editor. So I get the animation, I get the draw interface. What options do I have here? So there is draw line. Draw mesh is hit testing. Is there something like, PDI? There is the notify event. Is there like a position? There is duration, get end trigger time. I don't know, maybe I'm trying too hard, like I've been saying. Like, is there an example? This is draw in editor, and then there's the draw canvas in editor. There's this. There's draw in so if root motion multiplier. So necessary for F compact, like so. So it does nothing really that I can reuse. Is there another example? There's a skew warp. Motion warping seems to be doing stuff. So yeah, it's doing something here. Okay, so this has some example. So depth bias, screen space, mesh comp, PDI, blah, blah, blah. So draw notified duration on notified track. So there is a draw translucent line. So this is root motion modifier skew warp. So I wonder, maybe I can look at that, just see what it's doing. Let's just try to compile. Because again, what I'm trying to do, you have your notify state like on the track. I want to have a parameter that tells you where on the position of the track we want to open up the input buffer, and I would like to have like some sort of line there saying, okay, this is your position. So I'm trying to see if there's any kind of thing here, because it seems like they're drawing something, but at the locations, I'm not sure if it's within, because it's draw in editor, but I don't know if we need the draw in editor tracked. So I want to just see what this one's doing, just to get a reference here. So yeah, if I can't figure that out, then it's whatever. We'll kind of move forward. Maybe we can like update like the notify name on the track as you're kind of updating these parameters. Maybe that'll make it a little more clear. Okay, so we got some problems here. So member of DLL interface class may not be declared with DLL interfaces. What? Oh. Of course, we don't need the engine API stuff. Let's try again. All right, we succeeded. Because yeah, what we could maybe end up doing is overriding, not editor comment, but get notify name. Could possibly override that one. Does skew warp also override that one? So warp translation, process root motion, add root motion modifiers. Oops. Stop. Draw an editor. Draw canvas and editor. It seems like it does the same thing, right? Kind of close. No, it doesn't override that one. So yeah, root motion modifier skew warp. Let's open that up. Let's just see what it does. Okay. Just for the sake here, so add notify state to root motion. I don't know if it's disable. So root motion modifier. Ah. This is skew warp. Yeah, root motion modifier skew warp, and I think that's kind of what it's showing here. But it's kind of drawing in this viewport. Like I would like to add something to this, like track, if I could. But it doesn't seem like it can. So motion warp window in the what? That's a weird warning. So we don't need that anymore. We know this is giving us errors. Whatever. Okay, let me save one more time. So motion warping window doesn't specify a warp target name, but it does. This is frustrating. Why? It does specify a warp target name. Let me just say blah blah blah, and then change it back to dodge. Save. Fun. Let me copy this. Let me delete this. Let me save. You guys can't really see what I'm dealing with, but Unreal is being a dick at the moment, so I'm just gonna paste it back. Deal with the warnings later. So I don't know if there's something I can do to draw what I want to draw. Because yeah, that's the draw in editor. So draw canvas in editor. Because I think what it's drawing in editor is like this dodge that's written there. But yeah, not really being able to draw on the notify itself. So yeah, might be pointless to try to keep digging this further. So let us just move on. It doesn't really matter. So what I would want to do, I can at least override the notifying name. So it's f string. Generate code. Don't need you. So we'll paste it. We'll say if whatever, blah blah blah. So I want to say, so what does replace inline even do? Replace all occurrences of search text with replacement text in the string. No. I guess I can append. So I want to say we'll say f string suffix equals text. So open input buffer at I hope that's valid. Let's see what happens. I have faith that it will compile. Oh, we got ourselves some spam. Let's ban you. Bye-bye. Papa. Oh yeah, actually I don't think it's going to compile successfully because we need to remove this as well. So I'm just going to sneakily remove that. And it says here, do I have to do something like that? Interesting. Why? Let me just make sure I understand what I'm doing. Log 10 warning, and then yeah, text. All right, so how to append f string with variable value? Because yeah, I'm not sure how to write it normally. Unless I could say something open buffer at, and then I could say suffix append, and then f string from float. Okay, so I can form. Okay, so I need these kind of things. Okay. Let's see. So I want to say f string. Oops. format, text, up. And then I need to say, I don't know, can I say like explicitly like this? And then I could say open, close. No. Da, 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 da. All right, let's just assume I have to do something like that. And saying I have to do something like this, so. So sanitize float. Is that kosher? Let's find out. Okay, technically compiled. We'll have to just see what this notify looks like in editor now. Because yeah, I'll have to update the text, I think. So I'm just gonna put a percent there for later. And I know I'll have to say, like there should be like event reference dot get context data. Let's see. How to access. I could probably look in the blueprint actually, how to do that. Because I need to get the percentage of time. Basically, I have to say, hey, is it greater than or equal to this percentage of time? Okay, open the buffer. And then on notify end, I also need to make sure I close the buffer. So I would need to do it also down here. I would have to be like, hey, if you input buffer component, input buffer component equals owning character, input buffer. I guess I have to change this to player character. So yeah, that's why I think it should maybe be in the controller. I guess it really depends if I want to have multiple pawns. We'll have to see. So let's just look real quick. We'll add a notify state here. What are we calling this? GAC input buffer notify state. Yeah, so open input buffer at 0. Yeah. So it's reading how I would want it to read. More or less. So yeah, let's modify a couple things here. So I want to say, so I don't really want to do like this. So I want to say like notify name equals text input buffer. So we can just maybe we can just nuke that part. Input buffer at, and then yeah, I gotta. So yeah, the percentage. Guess I would have to also make sure this is clamped to a min and max. So I have to do what? Meta. Thank you. That's what I want. Should be okay. Yeah, now I have to, yeah, I'll have to fully recompile because I edited the header file. I need to say, let me disconnect that for a sec. I basically have to change this to ink, of course, player character. View. Now I could say input. Is there not really an input buffer? Okay. Now, is it because I need to do, maybe I have to do a getter. So I'll do something like this. So force inline. Okay, so that should be kosher now. I should be able to say get input buffer component. And then I could just say I want to say close, right? Not open. Like that. Then yeah, I'll also have to do that. Let me just compile this for a sec. Yeah, let's see what else. Once I get this done, I need to update our state tree task. I need to kind of clean up and remove the old one. And then the state tree task I need to make sure has, I guess, an array of input actions that I can listen to, and I can listen to like different types of input action events, like triggered, completed, canceled, stuff like that, ideally. And then I need to somehow connect that to like the melee ability. Like, I don't know if I need to be triggering my ability within the state tree. I don't know if that's like okay to do. I don't like, obviously it should be easy enough to make a state tree task that triggers this like ability class, but I'm trying to think what I should do about it. Because yeah, I don't know if I want to do multiple weapons or anything like that. Like I'm overscoping myself like a madman. But we compiled successfully, so that's good for us. So yeah, the last thing we need to do here, at least it's good exercise on designing this kind of system. True. Because yeah, like, again, the ultimate goal here at the moment is to be able to, yeah, at least I'm telling myself that, true. Because yeah, what I want to do, I want to now slowly be able to make like a simple melee combo string. I have some animations, and maybe I want to have like a light and a heavy, potentially like a heavy tap and a heavy hold, and be able to kind of draw my combo graph per se as a state tree. Because like the other way to do this, like I did one prototype a long time ago, not a long time ago, but a while ago, where I handled it simply through, a data table and just tags that are added within the animation that basically just says, hey, this is your tag for light attacks, this is your tag for heavy, so that if you press one of those things and you have that tag, the table will kind of know where to take you. It worked technically, but it was not the greatest user experience. But in state tree is a little more, at least visually verbose. So yeah, open input buffer. So we have that working. So it says open it at blah 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 percent. So I definitely want to make sure I can just say 85% or something like that. Just take out, like, chop the. I guess I could just make it as an int. But yeah, what do I need here? I need to say, because I can get the percentage from here, I think, right? So get notify. Yeah, get current atom notify state time ratio. So I need that. So I should be able to say something like this. So get notify state and then pass an event reference. So I want to say, so float current notify state percentage equals that. And then I can say, yeah, and then I can say basically all that. I don't need to stop notify state. That basically opens our input buffer, which I believe is what we're doing. So on tick, right? So on tick, we're doing this. So that should be exactly what we need. And then, yeah, notify end. As I writing this, I should be able to say string from int. I'm hoping that'll automatically convert to an integer. Here's our input buffer, all reading fine. Let's do a hot reload at this point. Okay, let's see. Bing pot. Okay, so yeah, now it works. So open input for at 83%. So that works how I want it to. So now we just need to verify that this buffer works in general. So there should be a forward, right? Let me see. So the total is, can I say replace with, and then notify state, and then open buffer at 0.2. So I'll say open at 20%, which is somewhere around like there. Maybe I should make it like open at 50%. Status blockability, cool. So no, it's fine. How about that blueprint error? So I should be able to dodge forward. Oh, sorry. Let's see. Boom. Yeah, so the doesn't seem like, oh yeah, I'm pressing the wrong button. Okay. So technically doesn't work. So we got that going for us. Okay. Let us go here. So we go to close buffer, go like this. Let's go like that. Let's see if anything gets buffered. So we're here. So buffer tags is not empty. Well, it is empty, so we return. Yeah, that's all not good. So I know it's in our player character. So we're saying something like, so are we reaching here? I guess is my question. We are. So add unique to our input tag. is illegal. Interesting. Well, we should see some logging at the very least. So I see it is the right one. Let's look again. Yeah, we're not really recording anything. So we are sending it, so input native action ability equipment 1. So we're getting there. So on the end, yeah, we're closing the input buffer. So input buffer open, activate. So why is this not working? Does this need to be, let's just say, 0.1. Oh, okay. Do we get here? I guess is the question. No. Like, I feel like I'm not... I feel like I'm not correctly adding to that array. So I'm opening the input buffer, and then I get to here. Then I think this is where it's potentially failing. Why is the input tag illegal? Okay. Because get buffer tags, I don't think, like, it's a const. So that's what I'm doing wrong here. It's a const thing, so I'm just giving the input tag. So I think I have to make a function that says, so you function void add input tag to buffer f gameplay tag in tag. Then I would just need to say, if in tag dot is valid, input, or is it just buffer tags dot add, like that. And now I should be able to go back into my character. Instead of saying this, I should be able to just say add tag to input buffer, input tag. Let's see if that will work. Ah. Let's see if we compile successfully. Alright, nice. Boom, 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 boom. Alright, so a moment of truth here. All right, let's see if we did it. It's fine. We did. All right, so that works. Hip hip hooray. So we can maybe open the buffer at 0.25. So at 25%. Let's grab this. Do that. Let's do this. Do that. Reference viewer. Let's update everywhere. So paste. Boom. Let's also close tabs to the right. Okay. Here as well. Now I just gotta do these one at a time. Luckily, we don't have that many animations to fix this in. Now I wonder if you can make like an editor script that can kind of replace the class dynamically. Like there should be like a editor utility one like that, I think. That would be kind of cool. Again, I don't want to waste time making all this random shit. You know? Could be useful. But in this case, it's not that many. Maybe I can ask Google. So create editor utility to replace Atom Notify. To replace Atom Notifies, you would create a special type called task. Okay, so Google Gemini gives me a option to do this. Just for funsies, because we're here. Maybe I can make it. Editor utility class or task. So BP replace notifies just for funsies. Should override begin execution. So apparently there's a replace Atom Notify states. Yeah, onto another detour. So old, we could say this. No, so get, is there like a get assets? I say, so U5 utility would, no, utility So get all animations. We're seeing some stuff here. So get selected assets. For each. So yeah, replace on notify states though. What does it need? So sequence base. Ah. Whoa. Can't I say something along the way? So cast to anim montage. So sequence. I wonder if I could do something like that. Don't know if that's gonna work. Now if I go to tools, is it gonna be in here somewhere? Now we gotta figure out how to execute this thing. Let's see. So I have to execute it from some other editor script. Interesting. So it's weird if can I not just like class settings, class default. Guess not. UE5, how to execute editor utility task. Asset actions. Let's see. Editor, utility, task. There's the widget stuff. Yeah, again, I don't know why I'm wasting my time doing this. So event begin execution. So UE5, let me see. How to run editor utility task. Is there anything? So asset action utility? I'm not sure what this does. Okay. Let's test this. So there's no like scripted action. So editor utility widgets, blah blah blah. So there's no option to run this. A lot of good useful information on this actually. I'm just gonna share it in chat. That's what I'm looking at right now on a different screen. Event execute. Let me do this for a second. Like, is there like a task? Okay, so let's see what happens. So we have 5 here. Let me run. We still have it. Well, let me put a breakpoint here. So we get to here, get selected assets of class. So it's definitely empty. So let's see, UE5, asset, action, utility, get all assets of class, maybe? So get assets by, so maybe I get assets. Gets the set of currently selected assets. So what is the best way to get this information? So UE5, utility, widget, get all anim montages in content browser. So to get all anim for the blah blah blah. Okay. Ugh, is it telling me how to do it in C++? Well, it's showing me how to do it in C++, but is there like get content browser? Look for all assets on disk. Get assets by class. No. Seems like I'm wasting time again. I could have been done a long time ago. But there has to be a way in to do this. So get Get assets. There's the editor asset subsystem. Let's see. Da da da. Yeah, because there's get selected assets, but it's not what I need. Hey. If you want to know more about doing this kind of things, one of your colleagues at CDPR has a course on that. Okay, yeah. Has editor utilities in general. Can you link the course? It might be worth learning about that. So what's the other thing here? So is action for blueprints? I'm gonna say no. So if I get all assets of class. So there is get asset registry. Maybe I use that. Okay, let's see. Maybe I get to put a breakpoint there, and then I just say run. Seems like there's a lot. Yeah, some available for free. Awesome. So lights managed for texture compression, data-driven batch renaming. Doesn't seem like it has what I need. Maybe. There's a get selected assets, find package reference for asset. Okay, yeah, so that's just for bulk deleting. So I wonder. So there's the asset data, so package name, asset name. Is there like a print log? Let me just run this thing. Output log. Yeah, so it is doing it, so that's good. So we got all the names of the assets. Now, am I able to, so load asset. And then, so asset path. Is there anything, load asset? Load an asset for the, it will vary that. So how can I put in the asset path? Asset class path. So maybe. Maybe then I can write this. Then print log. Let's see if this will work. So I'm going to, fingers crossed. All right, so can convert the path. Okay, so that's not really the path. Package name, package path. Let's try this again. So load asset failed. The cannot be found in the registry. Let's see, so UE5 editor utility BP load asset. Is there any information there? Maybe not. Ba 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 ba. close. So maybe we do that. Maybe package name. Okay. Did that work? No. Okay, hold on. So are we getting there? We are. So it's failing here. So package name is what we need. So that's good. So replace unnotified state. So sequence base, I don't really know. Oh, I can just connect this like that. All right, let's see. So again, still in here. Run. So we're printing hello, 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 hello. So now, for example, I'm going to go to this one. So yeah, these are all checked, like needing to be saved. So it seems like that worked. Unless I have to like save. So maybe I could do something like this as well. Go like that. That worked. Okay. Now, honestly, there's a problem where it's not really setting those values correctly. But hey, we got something to work. So we technically still have to kind of go through these and make it, you know, kind of copy these properties, which is, you know, meh. But hey, we did something, right? So that's cool. And I wonder, because you can have this notify replace. So new notify state, would I be able to say like, hey, cast to input for notify state, and then can I say like, you know, set percentage or something? I guess it would have to be public, right? Yeah, there's this get, but there's no setters. Now, is it because of how they're written? Yeah, they're blueprint read only. So I could have made these have blueprint read write and could have said, hey, well, I mean, no, maybe. I don't know how that could have worked, honestly. So let's just clean the rest of these up and move on, right? So that's all. Does it also have the yeah, status blockability? This one, yeah, 0%. List all. Well, that's cool. We managed to figure something out a little bit. So I think it's this one and this one. Okay. Let's nuke that. We don't need those tools anymore. So now, in theory, I should be able to work kind of how I was before. So I can't spam. So that's all good. So now I should be able to start working on my state tree task again. But I also need to clean up everything for that. Maybe I could do that now. Because yeah, this is the appropriate task. So I think I need to make... I think I need to make a struct for it. Because right now, yeah, I'm doing like... Yeah, I need to make an f struct. So struct, u struct. So f input listener data. Now it would be like this. Then f gameplay tag triggered. F gameplay tag up. And then canceled, I think. And then this would be instead a T array of input listeners. And then I would have to say like 4 and then input listeners. So I would have to say, so like input component bind, what is it? Bind action value lambda. input data, that input action. And then I would need to say st, and then I would say input data triggered. Now, let's assume that's okay. Oops. I just gotta do this multiple times. So that's completed. Canceled. So I'm hoping that's valid. So I've got the input component, and then let's see if I'm actually compiling that correctly. So I assume I would have to do unbind, unless binding is okay with the value lambda. Not sure. Okay. So struct f input listener data shares engine name input struct. Now, is it because, yeah, this here, right? Yeah. So yeah, let's delete the other one. So we're gonna remove the one that doesn't have state tree task in the name. So let's close out of everything. Go into our directory here. PC, Unreal Engine, UV5, source. We'll start public game. State tree tasks. So we're moving the one without the word task in it. So delete. Now we can do the same again. Great. Now I should be able to take out intermediate and binaries. I should be able to generate project files. Should be also able to empty our recycling bin. It's probably gonna be huge. And then we can open up a writer again. We can try to compile again. We'll see how kosher things are. So let's let Writer do its thing for a couple minutes. Vibin'. What else are we doing? So yeah, we're gonna be streaming for another like 30 minutes or so. So hopefully this will all compile without a problem. Fingers crossed. Because now that other class should be gone, which it looks to be. Yeah, fingers crossed. Thank you. I started playing Clair Obscure this morning. I played about an hour. I got through the prologue. And I've been taking Steam notes because I realized you can actually take notes as part of the Steam overlay. I don't know if you can actually view the notes. So far, it's pretty good. I know I've only done a few pieces of combat, like the tutorialization. There's like a couple of fights that you do during the prologue that are just kind of walking you through it. It's really nice. The game so far is pretty good. I tried to play it on SD. Yeah. How do I? So okay, just to show you what I'm talking about. I'll quickly launch the game. Okay, build succeeded, so that's great news. I'm sure my PC's gonna crap its pants when I'm gonna try to run this game and also compile a game. I got 2 achievements so far. So yeah, when you're into the game, if you do the Shift Tab, at the bottom here, there's a notes thing, like a little pen, and then it'll bring up this. I learned it from Pirate Software. So you can have notes. But I guess it's not saving all my notes. That's a shame. But yeah, you can keep notes like that way. So I'll have to update my notes because I had some more stuff I thought. But maybe that is all that I wrote. But yeah, let me exit this game because I don't want to be here. Quit. Thank you. Play that for later. But yeah, I'm liking it so far. So far, my only like real minor complaint of that game is the lip syncing. Honestly, I've only been playing for an hour, but the lip syncing is pretty bad. It doesn't like deteriorate from the experience too much, but you know, it's like one of the first things that I noticed. But the game runs well so far. The combat is pretty engaging. Like the way they set up how the camera kind of changes, how the options are like kind of diegetically like next to the character, and you know, I can't really say too much about the combat system just yet because I just did the tutorials and stuff like that. But you know, I finished the prologue, or at least up until the point where most people think the prologue ends, and so I'm excited to play more. Obviously, it's gonna be fun. Okay, so we compiled successfully, so that's good news. So let's find our state tree. So I'm guessing I forget what it called it, melee. So melee combo base. So we have, is it in our asset details? So here's our input listeners. So we have this. So melee light attack. So untriggered event. I want to say, you know, do I have a state tree input dot state tree dot melee dot light dot triggered. And so then I'm hoping here, instead of the one here, I can just say melee.light.triggered. Then the same here. So let's see if that results in the same thing. So I'm going to press R1. Yes, and it gets us there. Great. And obviously, like, the current problem is if I'm like tapping it like crazy, there's a constant switch. So I need to make sure that the buffer, our input buffer, is not open, or is not closed. No, we're gonna make sure it's not open. But I also wonder if we need to unbind things, and you know, I don't really like how I'm doing that really, but maybe it's okay. I also need to make sure that you actually have some stuff written there. Oh, Imaginary Villain just rated with 7 viewers. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate that. How you doing? How was your stream? Okay, so we have some things like get description, get icon name, and everything. How goes it? It's going pretty well. We're working on a little bit of input buffering and a little bit of state tree things. Trying to get a melee combo going through state tree slowly but surely, hopefully. So that's what we're doing. So yeah, maybe I have to do within the compile option to get that to fix it up. It went great. I had to pull myself away. The game dev addiction is real. Yeah, no kidding, man. You know, it's technically a 4-day weekend. Instead of chilling, I wanted to stream a little bit and work on a project. So anyone joining, this is our little kind of project. We have like our elf guy with a sword, and we have a basic melee attack, and we're able to just hit. So right now I'm trying to make sure we can do some sort of melee combo, as different kinds of attacks, like a light attack and eventually like a heavy attack and a charge attack. And then we have the ability to switch to like projectiles and deal damage and burn, and then we can explode and die and stuff like that. So it's all for testing purposes, and we're just seeing what we can do. So that's the project so far, and we have a little dummy character that we can play around with. So hey, I appreciate the follow as well. Hope all is good. Yeah, so if anyone's interested, make sure to follow and come along with me and learn. Try to build something cool. So yeah, that's ultimately the goal. So now we're working on our state tree logic, and we're going to treat it like a basic combo. So we're able to step through this combo pretty straightforwardly. So at this point, we need to kind of just keep pushing. That's where we're at. So now we have to make sure that our input buffer isn't open. But yeah, first I want to make sure. I want to add validation results. And I wonder if there's anyone. Is there any other examples of this compile? Because there is state tree task. There's some examples: play, contextual anim, CPP. There's get description. They override. Do they override? Do they override the same thing? Like compile on tick? No. And the unfortunate thing about state trees is the lack of examples that currently exist. Also, yeah, play contextual atom is not what I need. I want to do listen to enhanced input action events. That's a good name for it. Oh, interesting. I never actually once looked at state trees. I'm just way too much of a blueprint heathen. Yeah, same. So I try to do as much as I can in blueprints, but then transcribe as much as I can in C++. And then, see where it leads me, pretty much. Yeah, poor documentation. I know Epic is trying to push state trees more and more, so hopefully in upcoming iterations there'll be more and more documentation. But until then, we'll just fuck around and find out. I think that's our best course of action. So I would want to say... There's that, but then there's also blueprint base. Is there compile? I just want to see what we get. So state tree node base .h. Is there any? Well, of course, the whole virtual aspect of it is not going to be. No. So let's just grab this. I want to see if we can get this to work, honestly. So there's enter state, exit state. It's epic. Half the UI5 documentation still needs UI4 docs. True. So what does it say? Has the override specifier but does not override a base class member. So let me see. Virtual void. Yeah, so where does this one actually exist within? It's within the struct. So down here. So we got that. So generate code, definitions. Now, can I say like, I don't even know what I want to say. Like, I don't know if I want to like fail anything or. Can I say, let's say, for example, so if input listener, what's the array name? Input listeners. So, okay, so this is empty because it's in the object. So can I say, so if get instance data type there should be a way for me to get this. So f state tree data view. What does this give me? Now can I say so instance data type thing is this one. Is this valid, I wonder? So if it's empty, I want to say data valid, so return data validation result invalid. Now, can I say, yeah, valid.add takes it's empty. I guess then I can say, you know, super. Return super. So hopefully that will compile. Who knows? We're going to find out. So yeah, imaginary villain, if you're there still, what type of project you working on? Type of genre, type of game? Alright, here's the moment of truth. Okay. I'm making a 3D Metroidvania. Okay. Awesome. Oh, Little Nightmares? Yeah. I'm trying to get me and my girlfriend to play Little Nightmares. But right now we did Split Fiction, and now we're doing It Takes Two, but I want to try to inch our way towards Little Nightmares because I think it'll be fun. I played the first one by myself, but I want to play the second one. I never played Alice Madness Returns. But I played other kind of Metroidvanias. If we count Ori in the Blind Forest and the is it the Will of the Wisps? I played that new Prince of Persia. I just played what's that game called? I can look it up on Steam real quick. It's like Chrome Blade or something. Blade Chimera. I think that's a Metroidvania as well. That was okay. That was pretty good. I need to try Hollow Knight again. I played some of the old Metroid games on the GBA. I don't know. I can't remember if I actually beat any Metroid Primes. But I played the latest Metroid game that was on Switch. I forgot the name of that one. But yeah, those games are cool. So, like, in your opinion, what's like the hardest part of making a Metroidvania? I've personally never made them, but I can only really imagine is kind of the layout of the world and how you kind of want to gate it through mechanics, and then how best progress the player with those mechanics to then kind of keep opening up the world, kind of letting you backtrack, finding new things. Trying to mentally map that must be like incredibly difficult. So best of luck. Okay, so let's see if this compile message thing worked. So yeah, if I go to here, obviously if I compile, all is fine. But let's remove this array. If I try to compile, okay, it still compiles. So what happens? Yeah, so that doesn't really get called. Can I... Okay, so I get here. Honestly, since I'm doing 3D, verticality is the hardest part. It's very hard to keep the player inside of areas while keeping it interesting. I actually had someone else who gave up on their own 3D mesh and complained about the same problem. It turns out it's a lot easier to box a player into where you want them in a 2D world than a 3D one. Thankfully, I have a dirty trick that helps a lot. If you're willing to share what the dirty trick is, I'm willing to listen, but I can understand keeping it to yourself as well. Okay, so it seems like we hit this, but we don't hit that. So am I just hitting this? So let me compile again. Yeah. Yeah, so I'm not sure why my compile isn't hit. Let's see. F straight task common base. We get to here. Trigger transitions. So yeah, there's not really a compile thing. Or a secret. So I mean, I Steam entire development of the game. Oh, you stream the entire development. There's not much reason to keep anything secret. You're playing as a tiny doll in my game, and she's trying to escape a toy store. It's a 6-story building. Having floors and rooms automatically helps keep the player in check. You're free to travel these massive rooms as a tiny doll, but you need keys to open doors. Okay, nice. Sounds pretty cool. You know, dolls and toys on their own are kind of creepy anyway. So if you're going for that kind of creepy vibe, I think you'll have it automatically. Yeah, well, so I gotta figure out where. Because yeah, for some reason this just isn't getting called where I was hoping it would get called. Unless I can do something like this and then I do that. No. Like where's the best place to kind of update that notify stuff? Not notify, but I guess validation. So wrapper for blueprint-based tasks. I mean, is there anything built in to this that gives me some sort of similar setup? The icon name, icon color, cache node ID. No. So we do this, and then this is all well and good, but again, I gotta make sure it goes with the input buffer, obviously. So I gotta fix that. And we don't have much time left. I don't know why. Is there any other like state tree task? So there is delay task. Get description. No. Ah la 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 la. Like what other tasks exist that I can look at? So add new task, there is run parallel state tree. These are my custom ones here. Delay task. Yeah, listen to enhance input events. This guest. Like this one is not a thing anymore, is it? Why is there two of them? Cool. So there's a run environment query one. There is the post edit instance chain property. I am curious how this works. Do I have a query? Yeah. I often forget that you can write actual C++ in UE. I swear I went over a year before I knew about C++ projects. It wasn't until I streamed on Twitch that I met the chatters who get offended when you don't make your game in C++. I mean, you know, if it works, it works. You know, like I'm running into the constant issue of like constantly trying to make something quote unquote perfect. And that's just, you know, not a thing. So just make sure if it works, it works. If you understand the architecture, you understand the architecture. Who cares if it's blueprints only or C++ only or a mix of both, you know? It doesn't really matter. Post edit instance data chain property. So it seems like you can get query params. Let me see. So run environment query. Let me look at this real quick. There is no award for delivering game in X technology. True. I just want to see if I can. If I can provide some data to this. Get mutable f instance data type, query template, then collect query params. All right, so I made a query param for this. I'm gonna save. Now I'm going to clear. Okay, so hold on. Now this actually has a result. So the run EQS query none, it makes it compile. It says property reference result is expected to have a binding. So where do I see this? Interesting. So property reference result on root. Let me just see if I can find a is expected to have a binding. So state tree compiler. So this comes from what? Get and validate bindings. Okay, so not exactly what I'm looking for, but that's fine. Okay, so this will actually be very useful for me because I added the arc angle and I give it the param type and float here. So what I would like to do is be able to do something very similar, but with parameters of a gameplay ability. So that could be a good reference. So that will be a good reference down the line. So post edit instance data chain property. So I would have to just do something like this. So there's this query template collect query params. And then down here, it does something. I'm not sure how exactly that works. So yeah, it's a query config. And it's a TRA FAI dynamic param. Yeah, I feel like that's going to be tough to figure out, but I'd like to try. But again, I don't know why my compile function doesn't actually get invoked. And yeah, there's not a real example anywhere. So yeah, F gameplay interaction state tree task brings you here. Only gets called once. handled in the task thing here. So it should, in theory, work. Can I, for example, just do this? So how do they write it? They seem to write it the same way that I'm doing it. I mean, do I have to just say like friend? If you just want until UE6, I'm sure Epic's documentation will finally show UE5 stuff. Yeah, maybe. I think my stream is lagging like crazy. Might mean it's time to might mean to stop streaming soon. Hey, how's it going? Yeah, I think my stream is a bit too laggy at this point. I'm seeing it being laggy everywhere. Okay, seems like I'm back, kind of. How's the state tree solution going? It's not bad. I was able to get the input listener working. Now I'm trying to just put some stuff in here, like, you know, overriding for compiling and making sure I can run validation on some stuff. But I don't know if it's gonna work. So we'll see. But yeah, I need to end the stream in a couple moments here. So I'll say my goodbyes. Let's go ahead and, of course, we're going to raid first Crimson, per usual. So thanks everyone so much for watching, and again, thank you Imaginary Villain for the initial raid, and for following as well. So for any newcomers, make sure to follow me here on Twitch. You can also join our Discord, which I think actually might have an outdated invite. So let me make sure I send out a new invitation here. So copy. Is there a way for me to get this thing? It says copy, use hidden button. So generate new link. Copy. I don't know why it doesn't give me a proper link. I'll send it anyway. Good luck. Let's see. Yeah, it expired. Now. Yeah, for some reason when I try to get a link, so edit invite link, expire never, generate new link. Like I'm trying to copy it, hidden use copy button. And then when I paste it, I just get the words hidden use copy button. So that's not very cash money. Maybe I have to close Discord and reopen it. And we'll try one more time. Invite people. Okay, if you have streamer mode enabled, that will happen. I see. Okay. So yeah, streamer mode disabled. Thank you for that. Invite people. Copy. That should be good now. So feel free to join if you even want to. I know I just went through a lot to get that going. Let me update my cloud bot for later. Confirm. There we go. So yeah, let's go ahead now. Raid first Crimson. So thanks again, everybody, for watching. I appreciate it. We'll be streaming a lot next week. I don't know if we'll do it over this coming weekend, so we'll see. So enjoy the rest of your days, and hopefully I'll see you all soon.